is The Kate Daly Show.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You could stare me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
All right, welcome back. Kate Daly Show at your service. Over 26 million on podcast of this here live show, and welcome to all of you all across the country and on Patriot TV. So grateful to have you on. We have Dinesh D'Souza. I'm excited to have you. How are you? And welcome back to the show, Dinesh.
Hey, it's always great to be back. Thank you, and looking forward to our discussion.
Absolutely. You've done Obama's America, Hillary's America, Death of a Nation, Trump Card. I mean, you name it. All of your films, they've been fantastic, by the way. And this new film, let's talk about Vindicating Trump.
It is maybe my most timely and urgent film. It includes a riveting kind of one-on-one with Trump in which I believe he opens up like never before. You begin to see the tumblers of his mind. You get a little window into his soul. Mm-hmm. And the film has my usual combination of dramatic recreations, a fast-moving narrative, very interesting discussions, not only about the story of Trump, but all the various efforts to get Trump. I divide these into character assassination, sort of political assassination, which would be the attempt to frame Trump as a Russian spy, the legal assassination, sometimes called lawfare, and finally the two assassination attempts.
Wow. Why do you think he's running again? After everything that's happened, knowing the fraud exists, all of that, why do you think he's running again?
I can only think of one reason, because I think by a normal calculus, it makes no sense. Mm-hmm. I don't think you or I, if we had a wonderful life, $1 billion, grandchildren, maybe 10 years left or a few more years left to live, why would you put up with this? Mm-hmm. And not only that, but Trump knows that it would all go away if he didn't run. Right. And yet he's doing it. And I can think the only reason I can think is because he believes not only is the country in a mess, the American dream sort of hanging in the balance, but he must be inwardly convinced that he is the only guy who can fix it. I think that's the only explanation for why he pushes forward, knowing all these perilous risks that he's taking. Life in prison, possibly death. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a lot to risk.
Right. You know, in the movie, you reveal the significance of Judge Juan Merchan's postponing of Trump's sentencing in the New York case. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I think that the left and the Democrats were really sure that they were going to get Trump. And they launched this naked assault, which is 91 criminal charges, which, on the face of it is absurd. And I say that because, look, if someone's a habitual criminal, they're going to be doing crimes, throughout their career. Right. Trump goes 75 years of his life, and he's in a controversial real estate market, wheeling, dealing, all this stuff, not a single criminal charge. Yeah. Then the year that he's running for president again, 91 charges fall on his head pretty much at the same time. And so I think that the Democrats thought, we're going to have this guy out of the race by now. Mm-hmm. So the fact that Trump has shown this unbelievable tenacity, I mean, any other Republican, I think, facing two criminal charges would have exited the field and would be never heard from again. Mm-hmm. But Trump somehow does his legal rope-a-dope. He powers through. And I think in his response to the two assassination attempts, you can see this guy is a man of unnatural courage, because no other person that I can imagine would react to an assassination attempt with a guy like 2 holes down on the golf course by being annoyed that he's being dragged off the golf course because, he was just about to make an amazing shot. And then would go on social media and post 0 for 2. I mean, that shows a chutzpah, a kind of daring that borders on the reckless. But that is only Trump.
So where do the other trials stand right now? All the other trials?
They're all essentially in a state of disarray. I mean, the Florida case has already been thrown out, the classified documents case. Now, the government will appeal, but right now it's essentially in the trash can. the DC case, Judge Tanya Chutkan, who is a left winger, is trying her best to revive it, but it's been delivered a mortal blow by the Supreme Court and its immunity decision. Fani Willis destroyed her own case in part because of her extracurricular activities. That's on indefinite hold. So by and large, this effort to get Trump is like 0 for 5 right now.
Wow. I mean, you know, all of the charges were so asinine and ridiculous that I'm sure most of the nation really gets that idea and understands that. It is nice to see on film when the media is called out for all of the lying that they do. And it's a daily lying. It's daily scumbaggery is what I call it, that you're going to get from mainstream.
Totally. And the beauty of a film is it's an end run around the media, you know, because they like to give you Trump in a refracted or filtered way, filtered through them.
Right.
This is why they're always jumping in whenever he's in a debate to try to block him or prevent him from finishing a statement. And what they can do is they can block me on YouTube or block me on Facebook, but they can't prevent people from going to the theater. So the film's in, you know, right now about 500 theaters. The website is vindicatingtrump.com, and if you just plug in your city or town, the theaters will pop up. I also, Kate, have a book on the same topic of the same title coming out in a couple of days.
Ooh, nice. Also, when are you going to do a movie about Kamala and her actual origins and her actual race? All of those types of things about Kamala.
I don't know, Kate. This may take me into the X-rated territory. I don't even know if I can do that kind of a movie. Discretion may prevent me from doing it.
The reason we call her Hormala on the show is probably she's really proud of it. So I think she wants to be called something like that. She's begging for it, and there's just so much there. And were you shocked, surprised to see her surface as the non-nominated? Whatchamacallit, the nominee or the
well, the real significance of all that is this. I think it's now come to light the Democrats are not functioning in a normal way as a political party with a leader. They've set up a sort of a regime, and the regime told Biden in 2020, you're not going to have a primary. We're going to move you to the front. But even though you're the face of the party, we're going to be telling you what to do. You're going to sit in the canoe, but we are going to be steering the canoe. And if we decide to kick you out, you're going to have to go. I think Kamala's come in on the same terms. No primary. They'll back her 100%, but they're going to be telling her what to do. And frankly, if she becomes inconvenient, they're going to be able to hit the eject button, and she's going to have to go out with a smile. So it's really scary that the country is being run by a bunch of people right now, Kate, and we don't even know their names.
No, it's so true. Very, very true. And of course, Trevor Loudon said that she is run by Obama's people. Is that what you're finding too?
I mean, if I had to name the junta running the country, the names would certainly include Pelosi, they would include Schumer, and they would include Obama, but there's probably a bunch of others as well.
Oh my gosh. What do you speculate, with just a few minutes left, what do you speculate for October surprises, besides this week, which has been a heavy news week on what we've had to deal with, and of course Hurricane Helene, which is just tragic, and our government doing nothing. What do you expect that's coming?
Briefly, Kate, there is a prediction in the movie, and I think the Democrats, as they get desperate, will try to resort to a new form of election fraud. We have a section in the movie, I won't go into it now, but just mention it. It's called The Ballot Makers. And unbelievably, we've discovered that it's possible for people, you or me, to make thousands of ballots. It sounds crazy, but the whole process is not only described in the movie, but we show how it can be done.
Ooh. I like this. I like that you did that. Please check out this movie, 500 theaters, Vindicating Trump. It's getting great reviews. I'm glad to see these kinds of movies surface because we need to see the other side of what we don't hear coming out of the media 24/7. So I thank you, Dinesh, for putting that out there. I
really appreciate it. Vindicatingtrump.com is the website, and see you at the movie.
And where do they get the book?
The book you can just order off of Amazon or Barnes & Noble. There's also a little tab on the movie website if you want to pre-order from there. It's out on Tuesday, so you'll get it early next week.
Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Dinesh D'Souza. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You betcha. And of course, I will be right back. I'll take your calls. And I know that you're wanting to call in about Hurricane Helene. You're wanting to call in about, the strike now till January 15th. I'd get your ducks in a row. Be right back. Big thank you to Dinesh. Be right back.
Thanks for listening to The Kate Daly Show. All opinions expressed by the program participants on The Kate Daly Show are solely their own